Hello my friends and welcome back. It's Wednesday, it's Hump Day. Happy Wednesday to you. The spine of the week have been broken. Russians are bringing back the flak towers. You know, I wanted to say remember, but nobody does because nobody was alive back then anymore. But flak towers from the Third Reich, which were supposed to protect Berlin and other cities from threats from above. Well, check this video. This is a Russian Pantsir S anti-air defense system next to the Kerch bridge, Putin's pride and jewel. They are bringing back the flak towers to protect the Kerch bridge from Ukrainian drones. Ooh la la, such a nostalgic feeling. But that's not the only weird video I want to show you for the beginning of today's update. Here we see a Ukrainian kamikaze drone intercepting a Russian ZALA recon drone. Nothing new about it, you've seen about it. But check this out. Russians really have an issue because these recon drones are pretty expensive. Because they are, that's how recon drones are expensive. And Ukrainians have been shooting them down with their kamikazes. I mean, intercepting them with the cheap $1,000 kamikaze drone. So what the Russians did in hope of fixing this issue is they painted the ZALA black, right? No problem there. But then they painted the Ukrainian flags on circles on the both wings of ZALA. And that's not it. They also added the German crosses. So whoever is the Ukrainian crew, Russians assumed they're so uneducated thinking that this might be a Ukrainian drone. No, my friend, this is clearly a Russian drone. Take it down and boom! That's what is about to happen here. It's about to be intercepted and the fake Ukrainian flags did not help. My friends, for the longest time I did not use any face products. And in some of my videos I look like a goblin in the morning. A few weeks ago I had enough. I have partnered with Geology to bring you this sponsored video. Geology is a 35-time award-winning skin, hair and body care company recognized in Men's Health, Hypebeast, Birdie, Esquire and others. Geology creates simple and effective skin care and hair care routines customized just for you, with ingredients that are proven to work. Their products are built around just a handful of powerful, proven ingredients that have been trusted by dermatologists for decades. Everyone has unique needs when it comes to skin care. Acne, dark under eyes, anti-aging, just general clear skin and skin health. It starts with a 60-second quiz. Tell them about your skin goals. They will develop a derm-grade personalized routine and deliver it to your door. You will be surprised on how better your skin will be. The game changer for me is the eye cream, which helped with the dark circles under my eyes. Geology's skincare routines are tailored for each individual, ensuring that commitment feels natural and easy. Geology prides itself on efficiency. It isn't just about looking and feeling good, it's about delivering real results. Don't shift through endless products. Geology has distilled skincare to its essentials with trusted dermatologist-approved ingredients. Geology is the best in skin, hair and body care. Award-winning products that cover all your needs. From their affordable skin revitalizing vitamin C plus E plus ferulic acid serum to their 2 times award-winning co-wash and hair care products. To their amazing smelling body care line of body wash and deodorant, which honestly have some of the best scents ever. They take care of all of your bathroom needs. So what are you waiting for? Use my link and code Artur70 in the description box and pinned comment and grab a 70% off your personalized skincare trial set. Remember, there's also that 50% off on add-ons waiting for you. Now, my friends, I bring to you something that I don't usually show. It's a song. I listen, like, I go through my research and I go through the sources and people shared this. I listened to it. It moved me so much I couldn't not share it with you. friends, I have to go on, but this is beautiful and it moved me a lot. In the light of this, this kid here is saying goodbye to his father, burying his Ukrainian soldier of a father who died, and the video speaks for itself. And I understand it's a quite sad video to watch a kid mourn his father, so I gotta balance it out with Ukrainian soldiers rescuing puppies from the front line. Never see Russians do it. For some reason, there's no videos about Russians taking care of animals. I don't know why. Maybe they don't film it, but maybe they just don't really take care of animals. Well, here, these puppies are safe now, and I'm glad about it. They are happy. Look at them. Puppies saved. Now, my friends, let's touch upon Toropets ammunition depot explosion, which was up to that day the biggest explosion of the war. We have a detailed, like a high-quality Maxar satellite photo before and after, and it's pretty good. Look at this. Before, woods and ammunition warehouses, and after the explosion, whoa! Like it's a huge crater where the building was. Other buildings also destroyed. All of the woods exploded out. It's so clear where the big explosion epicenter was. How can it be so different? Damn, this was a big boom. Now, my friends, I'll bring you a story of a Russian soldier who dared to ask for medical help, and then his superiors did something to him. They punished him, because they don't want to really waste time or energy, resources and medical help on soldiers that in their eyes are about to be dead anyway, because they're stormtroopers. Let's see what the guy who was punished has to say about it. I was born in 1990, tag number 32715. Yeah, in the Russian army, I mean, they are numbers. In the end, like Stalin said, they still live by it. Death of one man is a tragedy, death of 1,000 is statistics. Said by the man himself, this is how they still operate. Today I was beaten, handcuffed behind my back in a basement in the hospital. I was beaten by employees. So you are in the hospital and you ask for medical help, and then the employees of the hospital handcuff you, hands behind your back, and beat you. What? Is this the opposite day they're supposed to help you? Locals. For saying, for asking treatment. I have an injury. It's leaky. Yeah, I can barely move. Here are stamps from the handcuffs. Oof, they were tight. Here it is. This wound. I cannot imagine hospital workers. Like, if you work in a hospital, you help people. If you don't like helping people, you should not work in a hospital. So in Russia, you work in a hospital, and when somebody asks for help, you cuff them up and beat them. I mean, we gotta bring the meme back. In Soviet Russia, hospital beat you, or you help the hospital, or whatever it is, the opposite way of doing things, they do it like that. Talking about stormtroopers, I bring to you another Russian stormtrooper unit. They are getting their final rites, or whatever you want to call them. Let's analyze this photo because it says a lot more than meets the eye. First of all, look at the uniforms of the dudes. They're all different. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I count 7 different, no, that's 8. 8 different styles. 9, oh, actually it's even almost everybody has a different style. I think they brought their civilian hunting clothes, whatever they have, they brought those. These guys are wearing like civilian hats. The boots, these guys is wearing Adidas boots, of course. They all have Kalashnikovs, and even the Kalashnikovs are different, so there's nothing matching about them. They stand all differently. This guy here in the back, I mean, the photo says it all. This guy, I think he arrived already dead. Wherever they're going to storm tomorrow, I think this guy is already living that reality. He's already gone. They're being read something which I can only assume is their like funeral rites, because it's about to be their funeral without the burial, because nobody will get them from the battlefield. For an army to have troops like that, an army represents the country. I mean, I would say this variety of men right here is the Russian country, Russian society. It's the cross-section of the Russian society. It's a pretty sad picture. My friends, have you ever wondered, how does a Russian brigade commander live on the front lines? You know, the guy who, I always talk about the stormtroopers being sent to their deaths and talk about their superiors who beat them and punish them. Who is the superior? Well, it's the brigade commander, brigade chief, whatever you want to call him. Let's see how he lives. In this video, a Russian soldier introduces the dugout or a bunker or like a trench bunker living quarters of the front line of the brigade commander. The entrance, voyage, is it? Voyage? It looks nice, very nice, very nice. Going down, almost luxury actually, I have to say. Oh damn, look at these floors. This is prime real estate right on the front line. Living room, office, working desk. A place to accommodate your guests, offer them coffee. You know, if some stormtroopers come back from the battle alive, you offer them coffee before you beat them and put them in the pit and then send them back. On these chairs here, you can do the extortions from your troops. Oh, there's a heating system. There's a vacuum cleaner, a TV. Wow, this commander has it good. He has another room, another heating system, 2 other rooms. So what's behind? A bed? A double bed for who? What 2 people on the front lines are gonna sleep in a double bed? What is? Don't get any ideas. I mean, it's Russian commander. Everything is possible. We have another room here. Oh, it's a toilet with water. I'm guessing this toilet is stolen from Kyiv or somewhere in a Ukrainian house, because, you know, the Russians really, they don't really make toilets. It has to be a stolen Ukrainian toilet with plumbing. How can you have plumbing on the front lines? A shower? I don't live that good, and I live in Tallinn. Who is this commander? A sauna. I don't have a sauna. Damn. I'm guessing that's the video they show to the Russian guys to get them to sign up. And they think they're gonna live like that, and they get to the front and they get sent as meat immediately. Oh my God. This is luxury. This is peak luxury. Peak male experience right here. Now, my friends, in a pivot or change of topics, this is Angela Merkel. She left behind a legacy, because she pretty much ran Germany for almost 2 decades, and by running Germany, she also had a huge influence and legacy in the whole of Europe, in the European Union. So what is her legacy from my Estonian point of view? I know there are many people, perhaps in Central Europe and Southern Europe, who might not agree with me. If you don't, put it in the comments. I definitely will read and respect your opinion, but this is what I think, and I agree with this tweet. Angela Merkel and her legacy. Destroyed Southern Europe, funded Russia for 2 decades, made half of Europe dependent on Russian energy, immigration crisis, destroyed Europe's 2-party system, revived the nationalist rights. Europe never recovered from 2008. I have to agree, unfortunately. I have no respect for this woman and her policies and legacy. One of her biggest, successes was peace with Russia through economic means. Now, we know when our Estonians always were talking about this, even back then when this was being done, that peace with Russia through economic means is slavery to Russia. They will own you through the gas, cheap gas. Now Germany and German state and production industry is struggling because the gas is gone. The gas is very expensive now. And they would have had 2 decades to set up a different structure of growth. But Angela Merkel chose her way. Destroyed Europe, in my eyes. Now let's jump to the Ksk Invasion, Ukrainian troops crossing the border because they have done so from yet another area. They have crossed another area of the Russian border with infantry fighting vehicles, with tanks, and this comes as a Russian unit, a Russian contingent of a few thousand troops is still waiting to be encircled. Now, I mentioned over a week ago, that it's very unlikely that this encirclement would happen. If it would happen, it would be one of the biggest encirclements of this entire war. Let's look at it on the map for a moment. As you can see, Russians made their own counteroffensive 2 weeks ago, and they pushed a little bit back, taking back 5 villages from the Ukrainians. Now the Ukrainian goal has been for the last 2 weeks to surround this Russian contingent by connecting the Vesolia front Ukrainian units and the main Kursk thrust units. But turns out Russia has a lot of troops in the area. They have a lot of capabilities. Altogether, this Kursk area, Russia has 60,000 troops. So I don't think this encirclement will happen. Everybody's waiting for it, but I wouldn't hold your breath. Now, my friends, let's talk a little bit about Russian economy, or more specifically, aviation, not avionics. Because there are 2 industries in Russia in general that are taking the brunt of the sanctions hit. It's the car industry, which now is saturated with Chinese cars. 90% of new vehicles sold in Russia in 2023 and 2024 are Chinese, meaning Chinese pretty much own the Russian car industry, car market, and the aviation. Russian aviation is in disarray. Tupolev contracted by the state in 2022 to build 70 214 passenger jets by 2030. Kremlin paid Tupolev $450 million in 2023, but then Tupolev asked and got another $1 billion, and then another $1 billion in 2024. Not a single plane has been built. And now you see their faces. This is the face of new Maybach, new G-Wagon, new Villa. That specifically is a face of many new villas. The money is stolen, of course. They are not gonna develop this new jet. They're not gonna build any of them. Russian aviation, like Russian car industry, it is totally screwed. They haven't built anything new. The old ones are falling out of the sky. There is an increase of over 100% of plane accidents from before the full-scale invasion. Even a few hundred, like 200-300% increase in accidents. When it was like 10 per year before 2022, now it's like 30 per year. It is very dangerous to fly in Russia, internal flights, because there's no spare parts. The Western planes that have been stolen from the West, because Russia just didn't give them back, they have no maintenance at all. So if I was a Russian citizen living in the Far East trying to get to Moscow, I think I would take the train. Now, my friends, let's talk about mobilization in Russia. If Putin wants to continue the current offensive tempo, and it is the only tempo that has ever brought him any kind of results, because they're pushing with meat through death and destruction, they're able to gain meter by meter, slowly pushing the Ukrainians back. But this is very expensive. If we're taking account into lives lost, Putin needs about 30,000 new recruits every month. The numbers are steadily falling of the new recruits. This is why every 2 months Putin has increased the number of compensation to be paid for soldiers who join up. One of the silent topics in Russian society is the new wave of mobilization. Everyone realizes that it is coming soon, based on the daily losses of the Russian armed forces. From 1,000 people and more, it will not be a wave, but rather a tsunami. Regions are competing to see who will offer the most for the special military operation contract. The competition is so active that the authorities do not have time to update advertising banners. At the same time, the poorest regions are offering the most, not counting Moscow, where there is no money for things vital to the population, but there is money for war. It comes to absurdity like bring a friend campaign and cash bonuses to officials and policy officers for recruiting. The bounty hunters are back. In addition to payments, the heroes of the special military operation are also promised deferrals on loans and utility debts. This is big because the interests on mortgages in Russia are closing to 15 to 20% for new mortgages. So it's a lot of money you got to pay back on interest. So if you go to war and survive, which is very unlikely, you don't got to pay the interests. Very nice. Wow. Because it's not secret that a significant percentage of Russians who signed the contract want to get out of debt in this way. And although the impoverished population did show a small surge of interest at first, soon the number of those willing to die for Putin for a good price went down again. Putin and the Russian Ministry of Defense are struggling with new recruits. Yes, they are getting close to 30,000 new recruits, but the price is really high. The biggie bank of Putin is dropping by tens of billions every quarter. And when that runs out, they cannot pay these guys anymore and they cannot attack, because without 30,000 new recruits every month, there will be no offensive operations, because the only offensive tactic they use right now to some kind of effect is just to throw men at the problem, throw them at the frontal areas, and then Ukrainians will have to pull back. Military propaganda is everywhere, even in the kindergartens. Standard advertising for special military operation contracts have occupied the capital's subway. Stationary permanent recruitment centers are deployed right at the stations. The offer to serve comes along with the utility bills. More and more money is being invested in even cringe-worthy but still expensive video clips. Even more budget money is poured into colorful outdoor advertising of the same dubious creativity. But judging by all these ongoing PR efforts, the aggressive campaign of mobilization for money does not bear much fruit. It is only enough to keep the recruitment on the level of 25 to 35,000 a month, new recruits, which is only enough to hold the current tempo of offensive. It is not enough to get hundreds of thousands of new recruits to just overwhelm any kind of Ukrainian frontal area for good. The procedure for sending criminals to the special military operation has been simplified. Now it is possible not to wait for a court decision, but to go to war directly from the pre-trial detention center during the investigation. And a lot of criminals are taking that, because Russian prison, it's a very bad place to be, very bad. It's very hard to get out of that system. So if you are already in a pre-trial detention system, and in Russia the statistics says that if you're already being tried, most likely you're being found guilty. That's how the Russian court system works. You don't really come out of that. If you're already there, you're there. So a lot of the guys who are there waiting for their judgment by the judge already decide to go to the front voluntarily, because then the judge is like, oh, good man, a patriot, go, you're not going to prison. So they use this like get away from jail free card, but most of them get killed. So it's how free that really is. The price is their life, you know. That's how it is. Moreover, recruitment takes place not only among prisoners, but also among victims and witnesses. You go as a witness to the court to witness and testify against you're the victim or witness, whatever you are, and you get sent to the front instead. Like in Soviet Russia, everything is opposite. By the way, from the employment center now you can also go to you try to get a job and you get sent to the front lines. Whenever you go to McDonald's, like there's no McDonald's anymore, but you go to like Вкусная точка, that's the new McDonald's, and you discover you're on a bus to the front lines. Wherever you go to a public restroom, suddenly you wake up on a front line. It's the Russian miracle. Does it look illegal? Who cares about that in Putin's Russia? You can't even open the Avito classified site without receiving your portion of agitations with calls to serve the motherland. I'm finding this a bit funny. I don't know if I should. Men who went abroad just from mobilization will face penalties for a failure to appear at the military enlistment office on summons as early as this fall. The military enlistment office must now be notified of departure for more than 6 months, and it is not realistic to do this remotely. There is no official list of documents that can be requested by the military enlistment office, which means that it can request anything, and most likely by accident exactly what you do not have. Without a certificate from the military enlistment office, a person becomes ineligible for travel. And all this is added to the already existing practice of cancelling passports abroad and not issuing new documents without obligatory, and for many who have left, dangerous return to Russia. So fleeing to another country is no longer a guarantee that the tenacious hands of Putin's officials will not try to reach you. Written in a very dramatic fashion. I love it. I gotta spice things up with a little meme. We have a lot of dudes like that in Estonia, a lot of people like that. I'll read it to you. Russian pride, make Baltic Russian again, waving the Russian flag. Slava Rossiya, la la la. And now it's Latvia police coming in. Okay, buddy, back to Russia you go, because that is true. Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, our Baltics, we have been deporting the pro-Russian people to Russia, because that's where they want to be. That's their motherland. We are helping them to get back to their dreamland. And usually this is how they respond. I'm not kidding you. Oh my God, no, this is unfair. Don't send me to Russia. Oh no, my life is ruined. It's true. They are very pro-Russia. They want to live in European Union, the Baltics, Germany, Finland. Not Finland. Finnish people will eat them for lunch. They want to live here as pro-Russians. They want to get the European Union wages, European Union pension, human rights. But when you want to send them to Russia, they don't want to go. They just want to love it from abroad because it's ugly when you go close to it. Because that's what Russia is. Well, for me, it's ugly from abroad also. My friends, I gotta keep bringing you the Ukrainian fire drones because we keep getting new footage of them. This is another one of this ingenious Ukrainian Dragon drone breathing fire on a Russian trench line in a tree line somewhere on the front. It is so awesome that I put it on the shirt, and I'm gonna send out 2 shirts today. One to the last Friday's winner of a shirt, and another one also because I got a really heartfelt letter. First of all, Mark Thompson wrote to me just that he's a fan. He's been watching the channel, but financially it's a hard time, so he cannot afford a shirt. And he wrote to me a very long letter, just talking about stuff, and I decided I'm going to send you a shirt for free, just because thank you for watching, thank you for supporting Ukraine. I have your address, you sent it to me, so I'm gonna send it out today. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, then this is it. It's the legend. I'm wearing it actually right now, so it's the legendary Ukrainian fire drone t-shirt. You can get it on rehistore.com. Link is in the description below. Second one, I'm gonna send out to David Kartfricht. You send me your address also. You won it last Friday, so expect a shirt within a week. Alright, my friends, Hump Day edition of Buy Me a Coffee monthly members. I'll be butchering some names with my Estonian pronunciation. Pierre Morin, Per Värmel, Henrik Talgaard, Maria Taupin, Putin isa vanker. Vanker means a cart in Estonian, so like Putin is a cart. Thank you to these 5 people. If you like my channel, then become a member of Buy Me a Coffee monthly membership. Until my next video on Friday, where I'll, send a free shirt for the Buy Me a Coffee members and YouTube members. Slava Ukraini, and bye-bye.